Keir Starmer's speech to the Labour Party conference was like the latest James Bond movie. Too long and too many people got shagged in it. This 90-minute address, which made Fidel Castro look like a master of brevity, was chock full of eye-watering spending commitments to solve Britain's many problems. You might not have noticed these spending commitments because they were dressed up in snake oil political terminology like investment. Investment in industry, investment in the green economy, investment in mental and physical health, investment in public services. Except that it's not investment, folks. It's spending money. Your money. And it's not like there's a huge pot of available cash waiting to be distributed to the most deserving cause. Given that Britain will be running a budget deficit for many years to come, which means that more money goes out than comes in, this investment will be borrowed billions to be dealt with by future generations. The national debt has already swollen to over 2 trillion quid and almost 100% of the size of the economy itself. Much of this was caused by the ruinous COVID measures enthusiastically backed by Labour. They arguably wanted more. Now, Labour has done good things in the past, and I want a strong opposition that threatens the current administration with being unseated. The last thing we need is for Boris Johnson to get any more self-confident, particularly given the damage that he has done to this country through a year and a half of, in my view, failed COVID policies. 37 billion quid wasted on test and trace, and 3 national lockdowns, the case for which crumbles by the day. And he's still talking about vaccine passports and jabbing kids, some libertarian. But if you think that things are bad under Johnson, at least he granted us Freedom Day on the 19th of July and was vindicated by falling cases and an economy and a society that was able to get back on its feet. Lockdown-loving Keir Starmer called Freedom Day reckless. How much money would we have cost the economy if we had taken his approach? We might still have COVID measures now. Instead, we're on a path to recovery, and that is an important win for Bojo. There were some positives in Sir Keir Starmer's speech. He talked about the NHS and creating a culture of preventing illness rather than dealing with the consequences. And he has clearly picked a much-needed fight with the hard left of his own party, and he shouted down hecklers during his speech with wit and grace. But Tony Blair, he ain't. Now, Blair was far from perfect, as you well know, courting Brussels throughout his tenure as Prime Minister, pushing for UK membership of the euro and needlessly opening borders to the east, which killed wages in the north, as well as pursuing the disastrous Iraq war. But Tony Blair won 3 elections with a landslide by uniting the country around a pro-business, pro-aspiration message. Tony Blair made no secret of his admiration for Margaret Thatcher. And for the first year of office, he kept the Tory spending plans in place. And his success was sustained over many years by never venturing far from the centre ground. In the end, polished though his performance was, the leader of the opposition, Sir Keir Starmer, spent a long time telling us nothing. In fact, it was what happened outside of his keynote speech that told us everything we need to know about this current Labour Party. They call their opponents scum. They say it's not only women that have cervixes. Apparently, we've all got cervixes. I must have a look for mine after the show. They tell people in their hall not to talk or make a contribution based on their skin colour. And bizarrely, Keir Starmer's only compelling policy announcement was on breakfast TV, saying that James Bond should be a woman. Take a look at this.
Been a big week for James Bond, Sir Keir. Do you have a favourite Bond?
I don't have a favourite Bond, but I do think it's time for a female Bond.
Really?
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
That's a bit...
Oh,
OK, well, we will put that to our reviewers a little bit later on.
He was determined to get that one in. Now, why does this matter? Well, because a Labour government would mean 5 years of this woke bollocks, so effusively rejected by the public in December 2019. That's before you get to bonkers spending that the country can't afford and higher taxes that would send businesses and private individuals running for the hills. We know about the saying, don't we? Go woke, go broke. Well, Keir Starmer is going to have to get used to a new catchphrase of his own making. Go woke, no vote. At this rate, the next election is already in Boris's pocket, and I say that with no pleasure at all. The only real winner right now is Carrie Johnson, who is doubtless ordering more of that expensive wallpaper as we speak. This is GB News.